Good morning. It's Friday. It's July 2002. Holy smokes. Can't believe it's July already. So today I want to talk about leading yourself first. So I think this is important. We've touched on it a little bit if you've watched my past videos, but it basically means showing up and doing what you have said you're going to do to yourself. Maybe you haven't said it to other people, but you've said it, made the commitment in your brain to yourself, and showing up for you. That's really where confidence is going to be built. So laying a good foundation, and really, like, when your 5 a.m. alarm goes off, are you getting up? Is that non-optional now? Is that something that you've committed to yourself? You said you're going to do, so you're getting it done. Doing things that make you uncomfortable, eating that healthy meal. Like, when you make those commitments, meeting up with a friend, you know what I mean? Saying that you're going to do something and doing it, even though that when it's time to meet up, you might be, not wanting to go anymore, still showing up. Because now not only are you not showing up for you, which is important, you're not showing up for somebody else. And that really just kind of, I have friends that do that. Like, they just never show, and I just count on them just not showing up. So it's like, I'll still try and I'll still make plans, but they just never show up. And I've done that in the past too, you know what I mean? And I started to lose confidence in myself. Just because I'm saying that I'm going to do something and then I don't do it. So we're going to talk about leading yourself first. So first thing that I want to talk about in that is basically, before you can influence anybody, we have to first influence ourselves, right? So lead yourself. And the number one thing to do for that is show up. Show up for yourself. Deliver on the promises that you make to yourself. It's incredible when you start to do that. You start to rely on yourself. You start to trust yourself. Are you putting yourself in an environment conducive to growth? So, like this for me, just showing up on video for Instagram and YouTube at 6 a.m. is something that I don't necessarily want to do. I mean, I want to do it, but it's not like it's like, yay, I'm doing this. I'm super comfortable being on video and being on video at 6 a.m., I'm not, but I'm trying to put myself in a situation that's conducive to growth. So the more often I'm on camera and sharing and talking about these things that have made an impact on my life, the more comfortable I get on camera. I love the book, The Compound Effect. So I think my top two favorite books right now are The Compound Effect and Automatic Influence. And The Compound Effect is about doing little things day after day. Consistency and monotonity. Like, just the things that you do every day that are small and subtle and seem meaningless. Like, and it's okay to skip it today. And just the monotony of your day, so getting up early, journaling, reading, moving your body, healthy choices, drinking enough water. Those, if you do that day in and day out, there is going to be great reward in, a year, 2 years, 3 years. Whereas if you don't get up early and you always hit snooze and you're always running late and you're not making healthy decisions and you don't really move a lot and water's not that important to you, those decisions after a year are going to add up. And so in the book, The Compound Effect, he actually takes 3 people and one makes these healthy choices, gets up early, goes for a walk every day, cuts out alcohol. And there's another person who changes nothing. And then there's a third guy who adds in a drink at the end of every night, starts watching shows and sits on the couch at the end of the day, isn't moving. And where they all end up in 3 years is really cool. One has lost, I think, like 30 pounds or something. The other one stayed the same, and the other guy gained 67 pounds because of the adding in a cocktail and not moving and making unhealthy choice, like little small, like I'll have a bag of chips today. So the compound effect of doing that day in and day out. And are they good choices? Have you made no choices, or have you made poor choices? So the point being on that is that you can never give or contribute what you do not have inside of yourself. So if we're putting ourselves in places conducive to growth, you're going to start to gain attributes and skill and things that add to you. So I want, like if you squeeze an orange, you're not going to get cranberry juice, right? You're going to get orange juice. It's what's in the orange. So in tough situations or pressure situations, or just, a moment of frustration or anger or sadness, like when you get squeezed, what's in you is what's going to come out. And so what are you doing to add value to yourself, to trust yourself, to rely on yourself, so that when you get squeezed, good stuff comes out, words of life come out, you know what I mean? And that's something that I think about, and I really try to work on myself on a daily basis. Like when I get squeezed, there's been a lot of times where stuff has come out that I'm like, ew, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And a lot of times it's pointing the finger at somebody else, or frustration or agitation, or speaking down to somebody and not speaking from a place of love. But when I've seeing being squeezed, and then what comes out of me when I've been squeezed, is highly motivating to change. And so that's why a big part of why I'm doing these videos is because I can see, being able to even see it and be aware of it and help other people see it and be aware of it, and just what's happened with these little things like getting up early, drinking a gallon of water every day, reading books that aren't fictional books but growth mindset books, and doing these things with my husband, and leading the teams that I do have, at the restaurant and in my other businesses. When I get squeezed, I want good stuff to come out. So what's in you? So when you get squeezed, what's coming out? We cannot master anything until we've mastered ourselves. So it's just those little things, like doing what you told yourself you would do, showing up, putting yourself in situations that are conducive to growth. Like darkness just needs to be confronted. So I don't know if anybody out there is running or avoiding things, and you don't want to turn around and face, like in the book Automatic Influence, he talks about hacking at the branches of darkness instead of getting the root. What is the root cause that's causing this tree to grow, and all these branches that you're hacking at, which really doesn't matter. You're always going to be hacking at them. Or learn what the root cause is so you can strike the root. And that's why I love that book. Get that book if you haven't read it already. You have to lead you to your potential. So the little things, the daily habits just matter. And you have to lead you. You have to influence you before you can lead anybody or influence anybody. First, lead and influence yourself. Make that your superpower. What seeds are you planting? I talk about speaking life. Words are seeds. What seeds are you planting? What's coming out of your mouth? What habitual seeds are you planting? Are you watering? Are you tending to those things? Are you multiplying these decisions? That can be, so many people don't show up anymore, and so many people don't do what they said they would do, and so many people don't get up early, and so many people don't move, and so many people don't drink a gallon of water every day, and so many people don't make healthy choices. So you even being aware of the little choices is such a big deal. And then finding enjoyment in the monotony of day-to-day stuff. Finding enjoyment in it. Speaking life over it. And wrapping your mind, your brain, around the fact that it's you're in for the long haul. So, 6 months ago, last September, me and my husband started the 75 hard. And that's maybe something I'll talk on a next video about, but it really catapulted us into some amazing habits. We took some time off during the holidays. I think we took like 60 days off from working out and eating healthy. We just kind of got off the track with the holidays, and then January in the Pacific Northwest, and these excuses that I'm spewing right now, but we got off track at the beginning of December and then back on track at the end of January. So not quite 2 months. But for the last 6 months, we have been committed to these daily habits. Recommitted. And see, like, I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm perfect. We've gotten off track. But the last 6 months, the crazy difference in my body from just movement every day. Some days it's just a 20-minute walk. Most days I do some kind of hour worth of exercise, but sometimes, and especially at the beginning, that can be really overwhelming, and it has to be a 20-minute walk, and that's all I'm going to do. But at least I did it. I was consistent with my movement. And I can maybe attach my before and after picture for the last 6 months, but wow. It's really, really incredible. So, and we plan on, getting another 6 months done and continuing these habits forever. As you get older, movement and lifting weights and drinking water and eating healthy, like, we want to live a long, healthy life where we're doing things together, in our older years. And not that we're old. I mean, I'm 38, he's 35. We're not old. But as you age, like, what you're doing, your daily habits become important. And I'm getting to my life stage where it's like, you start to think about the legacy you want to leave behind, and what does your life mean, So anyways, this one a little bit longer than usual. I hope you guys got something out of it. But the message today is lead yourself first. Show up. Put yourself in situations that are conducive to growth. Okay? So go out there and have a great Friday, you guys. I will see you on Monday.